Welcome back to Pilates by Brianna. Today's workout will be another about 30-minute intermediate to advanced level class. We will be working or focusing more on stability and control. So we're going to start with footwork and then we'll be on a light yellow spring for pretty much the remainder of class. A light spring, again, working on stabilization, using our core, and just overall control. Okay, so go ahead, get set up for footwork to start. I have my foot bar up. I have on all my springs, so I have 3 heavy red, 1 medium blue, and 1 light yellow. Your choice of having the headrest up or down to start. So get set up, and I will meet you on the reformer.
Once you have the springs on, you could come to lay on your back, finding a nice, comfortable position, neutral through the spine. We'll put the toes on the bar, come into a Pilates V, heels together, toes apart, knees in line with the shoulders, and begin pressing the carriage out and in when you're ready. When you press out, the inner thighs will come together. When you control the carriage back in, the knees will come back in line with the shoulders. If you're familiar with my videos, you know I love to start with footwork, just to kind of get some movement through the legs, some of our bigger muscles, get our breathing down, and prepare for the rest of the workout. Press the carriage out one more time, and then come halfway in for little pulses, controlling the carriage up an inch and down an inch, trying not to bounce, really using the muscles to control the carriage. Almost there. And then press all the way out and bring the carriage on in. Slide the feet up so you're on the arches. Feet are parallel to one another, hip distance apart. Curl the toes and begin pressing the carriage out and in here. I like to exhale when I press out, inhale to control it back in, but whatever breathing pattern is more comfortable for you. Press out one more time, and then come halfway in for those pulses. Again, controlling the carriage up an inch and down an inch. Almost there, feeling the legs working. And then press the carriage all the way out on your exhale and control it back in. Put the heels on the bar, feet still hip distance apart, and feet are dorsiflexed. When you press out, you're going to bring one knee in towards the chest, and then you'll land with both heels on the bar and switch. So we're doing a march here. Since it's on a heavy spring, you're really working through the glute of the leg, pressing the carriage out, marching one knee in towards the chest and controlling it back in. One more to each side. And bring the carriage on in. Toes will go on the bar, hip distance apart, high heel position for ankle articulation. Keep the heels elevated as you press out, and then lower the heels. Keep the heels low as you bend the knees to bring the carriage on in. High heel position to press out, and then lower the heels, keep the heels low, bend the knees, and bring the carriage on in. Working through our ankle joint. One more time like this, keeping the heels nice and high as you press out, lowering the heels to come back in. Once the carriage is in at the stopper, we'll pause and reverse. Keep the heels down as you press out, lift the heels up. With the heels lifted, bend the knees and come in. So you're keeping the heels high as you bend the knees and come in. Once the carriage is in, you're lowering the heels back down to press out, high heel position to bring the carriage on in. Last one here. And bring the carriage in. Heels will go hip distance on the bar. If you had your headrest up, go ahead, lower it now. For bridging, on your exhale, you'll tuck the tailbone underneath you as you engage the core and begin peeling the back up off the carriage. Inhale at the top. Use your exhale to engage the core even more and roll back down one vertebrae at a time. We'll do about 5 of these before we add on just a nice controlled bridge, trying to keep the carriage in at the stopper. When you're in the up position, the hips will stay level to one another. So you're using those glutes to help keep the hips level. One more like this in that nice controlled bridge. Lower the hips down, and then we're going to add on to it. So now you'll come up into that bridge position and we're going to do a march. So bring the hips up, stabilize here, bring one knee in towards the chest, lower down, and then the second leg, lower down. We're going for 5 on each side. As you pick up one leg, you're transitioning the weight into the opposite leg and you're using that glute of the stabilizing leg to keep the hips level. Try not to let the hips dip down at all. One more on each side. And then when both feet are on the foot bar, lift the hips up even higher and then roll back down nice and controlled. We'll do one more set of bridges building off of that. So when you're ready, you're going to lift the hips back up into your bridge position. Bring the right leg up towards the ceiling. Lower lift that right leg, keeping that right knee straight 5 times. Nice and controlled. You're keeping your weight in that left leg, squeezing the left glute to maintain that stability. After 5 lower lifts, you'll bend the right knee, bring the heel down, lift the hips up higher in case you dropped, and then the left leg will go up towards the ceiling. Straighten out that knee 5 times, lowering the leg down and up here. After those 5, place the left heel on the bar, lift up a little bit higher, and then roll on down. Legs will drape over the bar, bring the arms up towards the ceiling, roll on up. For a spring change, you're going to take off everything except for one heavy red, one medium blue, and then arms will go back out in front and roll back down nice and controlled. We're going to pick up the straps, holding on to the short loop. We're going to start with the 100 and we're going to vary our leg positions. So start with the legs in tabletop, arms up towards the ceiling, come up into your chest, lift arms at your side, begin pumping the arms on your inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, straighten the legs overhead. Exhale. Inhale, lower the legs over the bar. Exhale. Inhale to tabletop. Hold for the exhale. Inhale, legs overhead. Exhale. Inhale, lower the legs. Exhale. Inhale, legs to tabletop. Exhale. Inhale, legs overhead. One more round of this. Exhale. Inhale, lower the legs. Exhale. And hold. And then bring the knees into the chest and lower everything down. And we'll go into coordination. Bring the arms to your side, bend the elbows. You're going to straighten the elbows as you do a chest lift. Straighten out the legs. Open, close the legs one time. Bend the knees and lower the head down. So you'll come up as you straighten the arms, then straighten the legs. Open, close the legs one time. Bring the knees to tabletop and lower down. So we have a few more like that. Nice controlled motions. Exhale to come up into your chest lift. Open, close the legs, bend the knees, lower down. One more here. Bend the knees, lower everything down. One last thing here will be our starfish. You're going to straighten out the arms and the legs, option to come up into a chest lift. And then we're going to open the arms and the legs and then close everything, bring it all in. So we're opening the arms and the legs and then bringing everything back to a streamlined position. 2 more like this. Last one. And rest down. Good work. You can hang up the straps and then we'll put the heels wide on the bar and just windshield wiper the legs side to side. I like to hold on to the pegs to get a little stretch through my chest too. We're just getting a little release in the low back. And then you can come all the way up off the carriage. We're going to take everything off, put on one light yellow spring, and then you can lower the foot bar down. We're going to come facing one side of the reformer. I have my right side closest to the foot bar. We'll pick up the short loop in the right hand and we'll go into horizontal abduction. So you're going to pull the strap across the body, hold it out, and then control it back in. The strap will be in front of the left arm, so that way you can get that pull here. Try to keep tension on the rope the entire time. This might be a little light. It's because we will be adding on to it. Last one like this. Pulling the arm out, controlling it back in. Now we're going to start with that same thing. You're pulling the arm out to the side. Pause, hold the arm there as you come up to a tall kneel, holding the arm out. And then you'll bring that left hand back to the carriage and bring the right arm across your body. So you're pulling that right arm out, holding here, engaging around the shoulder blades as you come up to a tall kneel, and then reverse that. We're going for 5 of these total. Try to keep the tension out of the upper trap. You're using around the shoulder blades and our lats to stabilize here. Last one, pull the arm across your body out to the side, hold there as you come up to a tall kneel, and then left hand will go to the carriage, right arm back across the body. Now you're going to take a quarter turn so that way you're facing the risers. Strap is still in the right hand. You have the feet off of the carriage, left hand is in front of the shoulder block. Pull the arm so it's a little bit below the shoulder, and then without moving the carriage, you're going to bring it out to the side and then back to your side. So bringing it out to the side, engaging around the shoulder blades, and then back down towards the carriage. Carriage does not move. Last one like this, out to the side, back in, and then we'll add on to it. You're going to bring the arm out to your side, hold it there. With the left leg, it'll straighten behind you, and then pull the knee back in. Straighten behind you, pull the knee back in. You're working the core. You have your weight through the right leg and the left hand. Everything is engaged. Your spine is straight. Neck is in line with the spine. You're just straightening that left leg out behind you, pulling it back in, and you're gazing, you're finding one spot to kind of look at to help with your balance. Last one, staying strong through that right arm, and then pull the knee in. Last thing we're going to do here is kind of put that together. So arm will be down by your side. As you bring the arm out to the side, you're going to straighten the left leg out behind you and then pull everything in. So when the right arm goes out to the side, left leg will go out behind you and then pull everything in. Two more. And then last one. Good work. Bring the carriage in. We're going to keep hold of that strap. Bring the knees up a little bit more so you have more of the shin on the carriage, and grab hold on the tape with that right hand. You're going to sit back towards the heels, and then as you lift the hips up to a tall kneel, you'll pull back with the right hand into a chest expansion, and that left arm will sweep forward. When you lower back down, you're lowering the hips to a hover above the heels, so you're still active in the quads, and then using the quads to help bring you back up to that tall kneeling position. Again, it's on a light spring. This one is more about the quads rather than that right arm, but we're just getting that engagement around the right shoulder blades. Lower down, hips come to a hover, and then back up. Last one here. Good work. You can hang up the strap, come on off, and we're going to put the box next to the carriage, and I'm putting my foot bar back up. So foot bar will go back up to your footwork settings. We're going to put the bar next to the carriage. If you're at the back end of the carriage, the box will go on the right side of the reformer. So that when you're standing on the box facing the risers, you'll have the right foot on the box, left foot will go on the carriage. And we're going to do lunges. So you're facing the risers as you push the carriage out, bending into that left knee, and then using that left glute to come back up. Your right heel can be lifted, so you're kind of on the right toes. And you're sinking as deep into that lunge as you feel comfortable. Last one, but now as you press out, you're going to stay out. Use that right knee, bend the right leg to pull the carriage back in, and use that right quad to press out. So we're using the right leg, we're bending the knee to bring the carriage in, and straightening the knee to press the carriage out. That left leg is staying in a lunge position. So this is a lot of quad work on that right side, but you should also be feeling that left glute working too. Next time you press that carriage out into a lunge, pause, pulses, lower the hips down an inch, up an inch. You're using that left glute to work here. So that right leg is staying straight, using that left glute to lower down an inch and up an inch. Little pulses here, staying in that lunge position. And then bring the carriage on in. Step on off, and we're going to put the long box on the carriage. And then you're going to have the right foot on the edge of the carriage next to the box. Left shin will be on the box. We're going to pick up the strap with the right hand. We'll start with pull backs. Keep the elbow straight. As you use your lats, pull the arm back up towards your side and then control it back down. So you have most of your weight in the right leg, but you're balancing in that left, and that left hand is on the carriage. You also have the option when you pull back of bringing that left leg out. So you're in a standing position. You're working through that left glute. You're using a lot of the right leg for stability, since is now the main point of weight bearing, as well as left arm for a little bit of balance too. And still doing a pullback with that right arm. Next time you pull back with that right arm, hold it there for triceps. Bend the elbow and straighten the elbow. So bending the elbow and then straightening to bring the arm back behind you. Still try to be in that standing position with that left leg extended. You're strong through that left glute. We're going for about 10 of these here, working into that right tricep. Last one, straighten that arm out behind you, and then lower everything down. Hang up that strap. You're going to put one foot on the foot bar, press the carriage out, hands are on the edge of the box, and then bring the other foot on the foot bar. So we're in a plank position. Here, you're going to press the carriage out a few inches with the arms, and then bring the wrists so they're back underneath the shoulders. So you're just pressing out as far as you feel comfortable with the arms, and then pulling that box back underneath you. Spine is straight. You're making a nice long line with your body. One more. And then when the wrists are back underneath the shoulders, pause, and we're going into mountain climbers. Bring one knee in towards the chest, and then back to the foot bar, and we're alternating here. And if this does not feel good on the foot bar or the planks, you can always put your feet on the platform as an alternative. But we're doing mountain climbers right now, bringing one knee in towards the chest, using that hip flexor, deep abdominals to do the motion, and then bringing that foot back towards or onto the foot bar. One more on each side. And then you can put one knee to the carriage or the box and bring the carriage on in. And then we have that standing set on the other side. So we're going to do that flow, but in reverse. So you have the left foot on the carriage, right shin is on the box, strap is in the left hand, right hand is also on the box. For our pull backs, you're going to pull the arm straight back and up so it's in line with the body, working around the shoulder blades, and then controlling that left arm back down. So you can stay here with the right shin on the box, or if you would like, you can bring that right leg out behind you to work more into the right glute as well as the left leg, as that left leg is the weight-bearing leg. Next time you pull that left arm back, hold it there for tricep. Bend the elbow and straighten that elbow. If the right leg is long behind you, really focus on that right glute, keeping everything nice and engaged. Try not to let that right leg lower. And you're just bending the left elbow and straightening the left elbow to work our triceps. Last one here. And then lower everything down. Hang up the strap, come on off to your left, lower the foot bar down, and then we'll put the box on that left side next to the carriage for our lunge set on this side. So come to stand on the box, you'll have the left foot on the box, right foot will go on the carriage, facing the risers, keeping that left knee straight. As you press out, you're bending into the right knee, and then using that right glute to help control the carriage back in. Left heel can be lifted. So you're pressing out into that lunge, pause for a second in that lunge, use that right glute to bring the carriage on in. Next time you press out into the lunge, pause. You're going to bend into the left knee to bring the carriage back, and then straighten the left leg to press the carriage back out. So we're staying in that lunge on the right side. We're staying deep in that right knee, and we're using that left leg to press the carriage out and in. And you should feel a lot of work in that left quad. Next time you press out, you'll stay out for our lunges. Using that right glute, you'll lower the hips down an inch and up an inch. Nice and controlled, minimal movement from the carriage. Really working into that right glute. You're almost there. And then bring the carriage all the way in. Step on off and just move the box out to the side, or just away. And then come around to the other side of the reformer. Face the reformer, come to kneeling. You're going to have the strap in the left hand, and again, the rope will be in front of the right. You're going to pull the left arm all the way out to the side, and then control it back in. So pulling that arm out to the side, reaching it towards the foot bar, and then bringing it on in. Going for about 5 here, so one more. And then we'll add on to that. So now you're going to bring that left arm out to the side, hold. Come to a tall kneeling position, still holding that strong in that left arm, and then lower back down and bring that left arm in to relax the rope. So pull out, pause, come up to that tall kneeling, and then reverse the way you got into that position. So lowering back down, and that left arm will go across the body. One more here. And then once the carriage is in at the stopper, you're going to rotate to face the risers. You still have the strap in the left hand. We're in a 4-point kneeling. And then we'll go into out to the side. So bring the arm so that way it's a little bit below the shoulder, and then raise the arm out to the side and control it back in. You'll feel the work when the arm raises out to the side to stabilize through that whole left side. Carriage should not be moving here. We're keeping the carriage nice and still. You're also feeling a lot of weight in that right arm because we've done a lot of weight bearing on it today. So that's kind of how we worked on stabilizing. Now you're going to bring that left arm out to the side, hold it there, kick the right leg back behind you, and pull it back in. So straightening that right leg behind you, pulling that right knee back in. The left arm is staying still, out to the side. Carriage is not moving. Last one here. And then bring everything in towards the carriage. And now we'll do those simultaneously. So as you bring that left arm out to the side, you're going to bring the right leg back behind you and then pull everything in. So left arm goes out to the side, right leg goes behind you, pull everything in. We're going for 10. Last one here. And then bring everything in. You're going to come to sit back towards the heels and hold on to the tape with the left hand. Right arm will be back by your side. We'll do chest expansion with that left arm as you raise up to a tall kneeling, and the right arm will come out in front of you. And then as you sit back, you're sitting back to a hover. So the weight is still mostly in the quads, and then using the quads to come back up to that upright kneeling position as the left arm goes into chest expansion. So just flowing through this here. Last one. And then you can sit back on your heels, hang up the strap. And we'll start going into our cool down. I'm just going to stay sitting back on my heels to stretch out my wrist real fast. So I'll bring the arms out in front and just bending the wrist one way and then the other, just kind of mobilizing them, getting a little stretch. We did a lot of weight bearing today. And then you can come on off the reformer to bring the foot bar back up. And we're going to put on one medium blue spring. So you're left with one light yellow, one medium blue. Sit in mermaid with the left side closer to the shoulder block, right hand on the bar. As you press out, that left arm will come up and over for our side bending position, and then bring the carriage back in. So we'll do a few side bending here, stretching out through that whole left side. And then next time you press out, you'll rotate to face the foot bar. Both hands will go on the bar. Press all the way out, get a stretch in the shoulders, and then bring the carriage in, lifting the chest up through the arms. And as you lower back down, or as you press out, the chest will lower down. So moving in and out of our rotation and extension here. And next time you press out, you can come back to your side bending, bring the carriage all the way in and counter stretch. Left hand to the shoulder block, right arm up and over. And then you can step forward off of the reformer, place the right knee up against the shoulder block. Left leg will be a little bit in front towards the foot bar. Bend into the left leg as you press the carriage out, feeling a stretch in that right quad. And then you could bring the carriage in, put the right foot up against the shoulder block. Right knee will be down on the carriage. Press out, lunging into that left side, feeling a stretch now more in the hip flexor. Chest is up. Just holding here. Bring the carriage in. This time as you press out, we'll keep that front leg straight, feeling more of a stretch in the back of that left leg. And you'll lift the left toes up so you're just on the left heel. And then bring the carriage on in. Now you'll come up onto the carriage, put both feet on the shoulder blocks, press out for a puppy dog pose. Hips will stay over the knees, melt the shoulders and the chest down towards the well, getting a stretch in the shoulders. Bring the carriage in, turn to the right, and sit in a mermaid here with the right shin up against the up against the shoulder blocks. Left hand will go on the foot bar as you press out for our side bending mermaid. So as you press out, right arm will come up and over. Next time you press out, you'll rotate to face the foot bar. Both hands will go on the foot bar. Press all the way out, and then bring the carriage in, lifting the chest up through the arms, reaching tall through the crown of the head for our rotation with extension. Last one. And then next time you press out, you can come back to side bending, bring the carriage in and counter stretch. Right hand to the shoulder blocks, left arm up and over. And then you can step forward off of the reformer. Left knee will go up against the shoulder block. Right leg is forward. Bend into the right knee as you press the carriage out, feeling a stretch in that left quad. Bring the carriage on in. Place the left foot against the shoulder block. Left knee is down. Press back into the carriage. Bending the right leg, feeling more of a stretch in that left hip flexor. And then bring the carriage all the way in. This time as you press out, you'll keep the right knee straight. Right toes are up, so you're on the right heel, feeling more of a stretch in that right hamstring, back of the right leg. And then bring the carriage in. You are all set. I hope you enjoyed this workout. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.